5 years. It's really been 5 years since the last mainline entry for a Sonic game. Bro, that sentence alone made me feel old. The hype train has come and gone once again, and man has it been a fun as hell journey for Frontiers. I mean, we've gone from hearing nothing about the game except tumbleweeds to absolutely shitting on the IGN gameplay, and then the game made the biggest 180 with the story trailer and every actual good piece of marketing afterwards. Like, dude, Frontiers' marketing had the biggest anime arc before Ash became world champ and before Denji could touch some boob. But after all the hype and anticipation, it's finally here. Sonic Frontiers has been available for us to play to our heart's content, and I love it. I mean, was there any doubt? Maybe I'm still in the honeymoon phase, so this is probably subjective and subject to change, but as it stands right now, Sonic Frontiers is absolutely my #1 favorite Sonic game of all time. Yes, it's that good. Now, I could care less that it's only in the 7s on Metacritic. We all already know how much praise this game has gotten, whether it be from other reviews or, more importantly, the fans ourselves. Yes, the game has flaws, this is the first open zone game, and I will not allow myself to avoid these issues like I have done with other Sonic games. But if I'm being 100% honest, Frontiers is kind of the Sonic game that I've always wanted. Seriously. To the story, the lore implications, the gameplay, the sense of speed, the music, oh my god the music, oh my god I've been listening to Find Your Flame on repeat for the past month. To all the things that you can do in the open zone, all the ways that you yourself can play, all the extras for replayability, all the potential for speedrunability. This game literally checks off all of my personal boxes for what I want in a Sonic game, and the fact that I've been excited for this game ever since the IGN gameplay kind of says a lot. And now that I've beaten the game and 100%ed it for myself, I can safely say that this was one of the best experiences I've ever had with a Sonic game. Ever. I love practically everything about Frontiers, and like I said, I do have my gripes with it, as does most people with like practically any Sonic game or video game in general, so you know, it's not me just hating, because you know, I am kind of a big Sonic fan after all. But aside from that, I literally love this entire game as a whole. First things first, during my first playthrough of the game, I played the Switch version of Frontiers, so you already know the drill for us Switch users. Expect a lower resolution, a lower frame rate, and longer load times. An overall dip in performance and graphics as a whole is what we Switch users expect from our ports, so that never really made a difference for me personally, if I'm being 100% honest. I mean, hey, the game on Switch does in fact run better than Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, so I'm sorry that it's come to this for you guys, but at least we got a slightly phallic looking dragon? I would say that's a win. But I did recently get the game on Steam as well, so that's all the footage that you'll be seeing. I'm also now broke, but I mean, hey, at least it's portable. I swear to god, it actually doesn't run as bad. This was just a joke, please, I'm begging you. And second thing second, let's get this one right out of the way. I am a hardcore Boost fan. My favorite games in the franchise are all the 4 Boost games on consoles. Yes, I like Colors, I grew up with it. And yes, I don't think Forces is terrible. Why are you looking at me like that? But because of this fact, I was never really bothered from the beginning that Frontiers uses the boost as a sort of stamina meter instead of momentum. Sonic Team stuck with the gameplay that we knew and evolved it into something pleasantly enjoyable. Speaking of the gameplay, oh my god, it's so much fun! It would be criminal to compare Frontiers to any other open world games, especially like Breath of the Wild. Instead, it would be better to compare Frontiers to something like Mario Odyssey or even Bowser's Fury, even though Bowser's Fury is substantially shorter. From the best of my understanding, the term open zone refers to a big map akin to the map of classic 2D platformers, except it's fully explorable with a bunch of platforming challenges, puzzles, enemies, and complete freedom to do whatever you want when you want. And honestly, knowing what Frontiers is instead of comparing it to what it isn't made me have a better connection with the game. Of course, it's unavoidable to stop people from making these types of comparisons since, you know, that's how people will find out if they like this sort of style, you know? But from day one, I didn't want to compare Frontiers to any other open world games, because yes, things are more spread out on the map, yes, things pop in faster on the map, because you, as Sonic, move so much more faster than any other open world character ever could. Frontiers is the next evolution of Sonic, and it's a fun one at that. I know it's really simple to understand and nothing too complicated, but I love the gameplay loop of fighting guardians for portal gears, and then you use those gears to activate the portals to go into cyberspace, and then you complete those stages to get vault keys, and then you can use those keys to get the chaos emeralds on each island. And then you also collect memory tokens for your friends on each respective island to advance the story. I know, it's a really simple gameplay loop, and it didn't need to be anything more than that, because you can in fact go at your own pace. Play the way you want to. Every playthrough can be different, and that excites me. This is your frontier to forge. There's no right or wrong way to go about it when they give you so much options and so much freedom. In terms of the actual gameplay and how it feels, wow. Just wow. Controlling Sonic here is a massive upgrade from the stiffness and forces, and it's probably one of the best Sonic has ever felt to control. My only personal gripe is that there is a little bit of stiffness when turning in midair in the middle of a jump. That and wall running can be a little bit iffy sometimes, but that's about it. Plus, maybe I can change it into settings to make it better. Oh yeah, did I mention that you could just casually alter Sonic's controls like his turning speed or his top speed? No? That's so cool! You can alter the movement to be how you want it to be. That is such a warm welcome in a Sonic game. And you know what else is a warm welcome? Actually having difficulty. I cannot tell you how many times I've gotten hit and died to enemies. And I love it. I'm happy these guys have the chance to absolutely kick my ass and actually put up a challenge that most Sonic games don't have in recent memory. Well, good thing you're not defenseless, because Frontiers has its own skill-based combat system. And holy crap, I did not expect the combat to be as much fun as it is, but it is so much fun, oh my god. Some of the best combat in platformers comes from incorporating the combat into what it means to be a platformer. That being jumping around and dodging obstacles, encapsulating the feeling of the game genre of being a platformer, and making it feel like it belongs and is natural in the game, making it built off of the platformer's moveset. Instead of being a pace breaker, like, I don't know, maybe, the Werehog? The combat in Frontiers is so much fun, having Sonic retain his speed to run around opponents and quickly dodging and parrying, while still including a new strategic combat system and unique combo moves that do not break the pace at all because of how fast and fluid it is. It is so unbelievably satisfying to pull off a bunch of combos and then you max out the combo meter for Phantom Rush, and then you do so many fluid attacks to kill a Guardian in one cycle, absolutely obliterating it. And the amount of combos I've seen people do online, how did you guys get the meter up so high? Oh my god! You'll be able to get skill points from enemies and other breakable objects to unlock new abilities on a skill tree, each having their own attributes that can be useful in different scenarios. You can use Sonic Boom or Cross Slash as an AoE attack against weak enemies, Grand Slam when executing a parry or as a recovery attack, so it makes it a really good counter move. Cyclone Kick and Spin Slash are really good multi-hit attacks that do lots of damage to a boss in one go. Air Tricks can get you skill points super easily, and it can be paired up with the super fluid movement to get super huge jumps. Everything about this gameplay is so fast and fluid, to the movement of Sonic himself, especially when you get the blue boost, to the amount of abilities he has in and out of combat, to the amount that you can change and alter in the options to your own liking. You can even level up Sonic's stats by collecting red seeds of power and blue seeds of defense, along with raising his speed and ring capacity, which is just his health, when collecting Coco. In my eyes, these open zones are not empty at all in the slightest, especially when you take into account just how fast Sonic can move, from one platforming challenge to the next, then fighting one Guardian to another, and then moving on to one island challenge to the next to reveal parts of your map. Obviously, when you've done everything like me, the island will feel empty, but when you first land on one of the islands with everything available, there's so much to do and you can quickly bounce from one challenge to the next. And eventually, you'll find yourself at a cyberspace portal. This seems to be the lowest part of the game for most people, which I can understand. I will admit that at first, the physics felt a little bit weird to me in these stages, but since I am a big fan of the boost games, I did get used to it and these didn't bother me at all in the slightest, if I'm gonna be real. Like, okay, yeah, sure, saying that out loud, that's obviously unavoidable bias. But like I said, I do agree that these stages are probably the lowest point of the game, which I already still like these stages so much, so the fact that I still think that they're the lowest point for me just proves how high the highest points are. I still had a good amount of fun in these stages. I mean, I'm always gonna like linear boost stages, but some of them were actually kind of hard to get S ranks on too. I don't know what was up with 1-2 and why it was so hard to get an S rank on it, but thanks for the challenge, I guess? Also, when I first heard that there would be over 20 cyberspace stages, I was kinda hoping that there would be more level themes. I heard that there was gonna be a rooftop run theme or some other stage from Generations. I was hoping that there was the possibility to remaster a bunch of stages that have never been recreated as yet, like Carnival Night or Ice Cap. But no, we only have 4 level themes: Green Hill, Chemical Plant, Sky Sanctuary, and City. That is disappointing, I won't lie. Also, yes, I know a good amount of these Cyberspace stages reuse old level design from Adventure 2, Unleashed, Generations. I don't care. Like, why is this a problem? Like, is this really something worthwhile to nitpick about? Like, can we just enjoy the game? Like, please? Like, maybe? I'm probably coping? I mean, like, come on. After the level design from Forces and how basic it was, it kind of just makes sense to reuse the best level design from the best stages of the past games. And it actually works pretty well in this game too. Like, like this stage is Metal Harbor. This stage is Radical Highway. This stage is Dragon Road. Why do all of these work so well? All the 3D stages are really fun. The 2D is a bit more of a slog, but it can still be alright. It's actually so insane how fluid the movement is. And hey, there is some original level design too. These city stages are all really fun. There's also only one Cyberspace stage that uses the drift. I would have appreciated if they used it more. I mean, come on, the drift is such an underutilized ability. I will give them this, at least they brought back the Lightspeed Dash and actually used it a lot in this game, which I appreciate. I love the Lightspeed Dash a lot. And I mean, hey, if you really don't like Cyberspace and want to avoid these stages at all costs, you don't have to do them. There's more than enough Cyberspace stages, so you can pick and choose the ones that you want to do and don't want to do. There's exactly 30 Cyberspace stages, which is shockingly close to the amount of game length there is in either Sonic Colors, Sonic Lost World, or Sonic Forces, in just the Cyberspace stages alone. That factoid is shocking. But yeah, if you really want to, you can pick and choose the Cyberspace stages that you'd like to do and which ones you'd like to avoid. You can get up to 4 vault keys in each stage for the objectives that there are, and if you do complete all 4 objectives, you'll get an additional 3 vault keys on top of that. So if you wanted to do as little cyberspace as possible, not only are they very generous with the amount of keys that you can get per stage, but you can also skip out on every stage entirely if you wanted to. You don't necessarily need to go into cyberspace for the keys, since you can also get keys in the overworld, albeit it'll be from random enemy drops. But you can also buy some vault keys when you go fishing with Big, and oh my god, this fishing minigame is so peaceful, like what? Otani really pulled out the lo-fi music for this minigame, and it's just so relaxing and stupid easy, but that's what makes it still so calming in my opinion. You don't need to put so much thought into it like you do when you do fishing in, I don't know, Animal Crossing, which can actually be stressful sometimes. But seriously, Otani, the god, you did such an amazing soundtrack. This lo-fi, oh my god, I can't believe there's lo-fi in my Sonic music. And then when you do go fishing, you can get tokens, which you can not only buy the vault keys, but also those seeds and cocoa that I mentioned before, so that really helps. There will also be some signs on the ground, similar to the ones for the challenges, except these have chest symbols on it, so when you use Psyloop, it'll reveal some hidden items, which could of course include vault keys. So you really can play the game the way you want to play it. Want to only be in the open zone? Sure thing. You don't need to step a foot into cyberspace at all. Or maybe you do want to do every single cyberspace stage. No problem. Maybe you get addicted to the fishing minigame. Maybe you want to test out your luck and get all the vault keys from enemies or the chests using Psyloop. Oh my god, I just realized I never mentioned Psyloop until now. I'm an idiot. Psyloop has to be one of Sonic's most innovative abilities that he's ever had. You'll use Psyloop in so many instances in the combat or in the exploration. You'll use it a lot in the puzzles, like matching these Tetris blocks. Oh my god, these tiny little Tetris blocks are such a cute reference. Psyloop is such a versatile move. Maybe Psyloop can fix my crippling wallet. Well, that sucks. But as much as I love the gameplay, that's only half the battle, because I need to talk about this story. Here we go. So, from what I can understand, because I do have such a tiny brain, these Coco that we see and collect are actually the remnants of the ancients, to which either their souls or memories live on the inside of the Coco, until their stories can be told so that their souls can leave the Coco shell and, in other words, ascend. Kind of, I guess in a way, finishing their unfinished business in order to get some peace from what they've lost. And every time the ancient's essence does ascend and gives them peace, you can see their symbol appear in the sky. Yes, this symbol that everyone is still trying to figure out, is just a symbol of the ancients. Nothing more, nothing less. At least I hope I got that right. These ancients that we keep on hearing about are actually from a whole other planet, and they're the ones who brought the Chaos Emeralds to Sonic's world. The ancients and the Chaos Emeralds originating here on the Starfall Islands, since this is where they first landed after fleeing their home planet and tried to make the Starfall Islands their new home. These ancients had to leave their planet because of some force that was destroying it, which I guess by name is just called the End, I think? And the thing is that this mysterious force that took out the ancients is the same mysterious voice that stuck between dimensions and was calling out to Sonic at the beginning of the game. So I guess in that case, Sonic has been, helping out the enemy all this time by taking out the Titans, since the Titans were actually made by the ancients to fight off this force. But with that being said, oh my god, the Titan bosses are insane! These are probably the best part of the game, and probably some of the best moments in Sonic history. Each of these fights are hype as hell. Oh my god, these Super Sonic fights are so cool against the Titans. It is so sick playing as Super Sonic multiple times in this game, and they did such a good job in each one of these fights, making you feel so powerful as Super Sonic, pulling off all these amazing combos that you could do with regular Sonic, but now leveled up with Super Sonic. Especially with how cool Sonic finishes off every single one of these Titans. Oh my god, it's just so impactful. Oh my god, the Night Boss with the sword. Oh my god, Caliburn would be so proud. And the music, oh my fucking god, it goes so hard. It has to be some of the best music in Sonic history. Yeah, it's that good. I guess you could say it makes you feel undefeatable. Sorry, it was low-hanging fruit, I had to. I heard people say that they found the final boss and ending underwhelming, which, I don't know man. I don't know how you can feel that when both of these things go so hard. Yeah, I get it, the true final boss kinda is out of place, but I wouldn't say it's bad because of it, it's still kinda challenging. I would say it's just a little weird and a little out of place, since the last time we had one of these top-down shooters was literally right before the final boss, so we literally just had this. And if we're really gonna talk about that ending, then oh my god, the ending is so beautiful. Oh my god, Sage, you are so precious. You know how we were trying to decide if Sage is a friend or a foe? She's technically both. She pulls one of those tropes of like, oh, I'm attacking the hero because this is my perspective on him, he's not a good guy. But then over time, she'll slowly be like, oh, I actually like him now. But what none of us ever could have predicted is that she's actually Eggman's daughter. Yeah, no lie. Or well, I guess by technicality, okay, she's not technically Eggman's daughter, but technically she is, because she's actually an AI that Eggman made, and I think it's the same AI at the beginning of the game that was when Eggman was trying to uncover the ancient secrets to begin with. But what we can see from the Egg memos is that Eggman actually slowly starts caring for her and becoming proud of her even unintentionally calling himself a dad. Oh my god, I didn't know I ever wanted this from Eggman, but here we are. Eggman is the best video game dad. Sorry, I don't make the rules. Oh my god, Sage even calls Orbot and Cubot her brothers. Oh my god, Sage being Eggman's daughter is amazing. Sage slowly starts to understand Sonic's motives more and more, and that actually makes her realize she wants what Sonic has, a family built on love and trust, not code. And this scene when she cries a bit, this actually broke me. I'll be completely honest, this hit me hard. Eventually, Eggman allows himself to team up with Sonic once again, you know, it seems like a normal Tuesday thing for Sonic and Eggman to team up, and he allows Sage to work with him. But after that final boss, Sage sacrifices herself, and Eggman watches over at what he just lost. This scene, right here, is going to go down in Sonic history forever. There is so much impact of Eggman reaching out and stopping himself at realizing what has happened. There is actually so much emotion behind this. And then you pair that up with the end credits song titled Dear Father. I can't. No Sonic game has ever brought me to tears until now, especially with this song and the lyrics. It's clear to see Sage's emotions and how much she wanted this to work out. There's obvious hinting that Sage can come back, I guess sorta similar in vein to Metal Sonic since Sage is an AI after all. But wow, oh my god, the amount of lore implications with the ancients, and then the connections that come out of the egg memos referencing South Island and West Island, Maria and Gun.
I never really knew my cousin Maria.
I have waited for a story like Frontiers for so long. Dude, what a game. I've seen so many people place Frontiers at the top of their tier list, and I have to agree. Frontiers is one of the best, if not the best 3D Sonic game. And the best part is that this is only the beginning of this formula. Frontiers is the start of the next evolution, one that can presumably be used for the next decade of games. So even though I'm super excited for a sequel, I'm already loving what we have here in this first attempt, and I cannot wait to play it over and over again. To the fast and fluid movement, the engaging and satisfying combat, the variety of freedom to tackle any platforming challenge or puzzle or enemy or cyberspace stage, or even none of the above if you want to. It's your choice to do the things that you want. And I cannot forget about this great story and the amazing characterization and interactions between my favorite characters. The cutscenes in this game look amazing, and Sonic, Tails, Amy, Knuckles, they all have amazing and proper characterization, better than what we've ever gotten in recent memory, and there's so many lovable interactions between them in these cutscenes. Oh my god, Sonic and Knuckles are such bros, and Tails is Sonic's little brother! It is amazing to see these characters so well written thanks to Ian Flynn. Amy wants to spread her joy and love to the world, not just Sonic. Knuckles feels the role of being the last echidna and feeling a deep loneliness in which Sonic reassures Knuckles that him and the others are there for him. Tails acknowledges his inconsistencies of his bravery and reliance on Sonic, talking about how he broke down with Infinite and wanting to grow into his full potential by going on his own adventures alone to stop relying on Sonic. This is so wholesome. These characters were written so well this time around, and the animations in these cutscenes are so smooth. Look at their expressions! And of course, one of the best Sonic soundtracks of all time, which honestly should have been nominated for Best Video Game Soundtrack of the Year for the Game Awards. Like, come on. Come on, Geoff, Kylie. Sonic Frontiers is special. Really special. My first experience with this game is one that I am going to remember fondly. If you haven't played this game as yet, do yourself a big favor and check out the best 3D Sonic game in years. Because the hype train is not going to stop anytime soon, as we've got a huge roadmap of free DLC in 2023. More costumes, photo mode, new challenge modes, a new story with playable characters? Are you kidding me? This game was well worth the wait, and is without a doubt my favorite Sonic game ever. Until a sequel comes out. Thank you, Sonic team. Thank you to proving to all of us how determined you guys were to make this game truly special, and I cannot wait to see what the next step is, since apparently the director of the game already knows what the next Sonic game is. So in that case, here's to new frontiers and even bigger horizons.
Standing here, the way ahead's becoming clear.